Hey everybody, so I'm just here on the St. Paul campus, and we are just looking at needle ice formation here. We're actually right just down in the south part of campus. So we were walking around, it froze last night, and I looked at the bare soil here, and I'm gonna flip my camera around, and you're gonna see it looks kind of weird. It looks a little bit granular, lifted, lighter in color. So here's what that bare soil sort of looks like. You can see anywhere that was bare soil, it's got sort of this lighter colored granular stuff, and then under it is this flat, darker stuff. But if I look at what the covering is, that's actually caused due to needle ice. So these are all little ice needles. And anywhere I see this sort of lifted, granular surface here, which is basically where it was bare. If the surface wasn't bare last night, then the soil likely may not have frozen, and so we didn't have needle ice formation. So you notice in this case, the needle ice is really only like a centimeter from the surface. So all this stuff, these are sheets of needle ice formation here. I can sort of lift them off and look at the needles in there. Okay, and below it is unfrozen soil. All that soil below is unfrozen. So if we look over here, there's pretty dense leaf cover. So that's gonna insulate the ground from freezing, and we likely won't get needle ice formation. So I'm gonna remove the leaves here, and we'll look and see if we actually see any needle ice under here. Yeah, there isn't any. So it's just the unfrozen soil surface there. So the needle ice really only formed in the places where the soil was bare last night because it froze. Okay, and here's some pretty good examples here in this bare soil on this little path. So you can see all those that granular stuff. I'm gonna lift some of that off. Okay, and this has got some actually really nice ice needles associated with it, okay? And under those ice needles is just the unfrozen soil, but look at how far they've lifted. Look at how far they've lifted that soil up. And that's all ice needles that have done that. So they'll thaw today. It's going to be above freezing. They'll probably thaw, and that soil will go back down. The process will repeat. All right, so now we're down in this little wetland. So we've got more moisture in the soil down here, and what you're going to see is that the ice needles are actually larger because there's more moisture, and so they were able to grow a little bit bigger. So here's some examples of these needles. They're actually really beautiful down here, so you can see how big some of those ice needles are, and they've lifted up this soil quite a bit down here. So you can see all these little raised areas. Those have been punched up by ice needles. So I'll show you an example. I'm gonna kick another one off, and then we'll take a look at that. So there we've got the unfrozen soil underneath, and then if I can grab it, here's our ice needles. These ones are nice and big. So you can see that not only the ground cover matters, but also the moisture in the soil also matters.